I've spent $21,788 on Whiteout Survival in 128 days, and today I'm visiting the Gel Alliance, also known as Jelly Bean. They kind of got a fun name. They're a pretty active alliance. I'm excited to be here because I've been waiting. They're the #2 alliance, and I wanted to see what's going on. I'm trying to do this little tour to try to unify the state so that we all kind of are working towards state versus state as a unified team instead of kind of fighting against each other, trying to understand other people's perspectives, and also trying to like clear up any misconceptions and just make some friends across the state, you know, across the borders and across lines. We should all be playing as a state at this point, I firmly believe, and this is my attempt to try to, like, you know, build bridges across the alliances. We did pretty good in our castle practice in the terms of, like, we learned a lot of things that worked and things that didn't work, and we're building from there. So I'm excited about that as well. I think things are generally starting to go in a better direction for the state. Actually, this thing that was a little controversial we did with BIA, if you've been following me, we did a little bit of state cleanup. We did it in a very, as far as I'm concerned, the most civil way possible, very empathetic way. We're only trying to target inactive cities, basically. And it had the intended effect. We ended up having 2 merges, and I think we've identified an alliance that we're going to be able to use for a shell alliance for state versus state competition, where people can, you know, join to reduce friendly fire and increase coordination and communication. So I think things are on the right track right now. So I'm excited about all that. Generally positive state of where things are in the state right now. I'm in a positive mental state about where things are in the state right now. Let me say it like that. So what I'm trying to do for Gel while I'm here, there's 3 things. Let's take a look at the calendar. There's basically 3 things. I want to help with Bear because it's kind of fun to have a new personal best, and hopefully if we have enough people online, we should be able to help them get some new personal best Bear scores. Then we've got a bunch of things happening. We got Treasure Hunter and Frosty Fortune coming up, actually, which I'm excited about. We have fishing coming up. We've got the Tundra Trading Station here, and some other things that we'll get into as far as spending tonight. Canyon Clash and Foundry I want to do with my home alliance again, because I haven't done it. I skipped one last time and I don't want to skip it again. And Canyon Clash is just fun to try to, it's like good teamwork and stuff for the alliance. But what I'm going to do with them is the Alliance Mobilization, Alliance Championship, and Bear, basically. And we do have some other things. So I'm going to stay with them most of the week. And then towards the end, I'll just kind of pop back over in time to register for Canyon Clash and Foundry. And then I'll come back over here and finish off Alliance Mobilization. So that's kind of the plan. But check this out. Do you notice the city skin I have right now? I managed to snipe 2nd place in Arena amongst some whales that are way bigger than me. Like, you know, I'm talking like 30 mil plus. And I was able to sneak myself in there and pick up 2nd place at the very last second. So I'm proud about that. Sniping is not always easy with all these whales doing all this stuff, and I was able to sneak in there and pick up 2nd place, so that's nice as well. And I also picked up some shards from King of Icefield just as this ancillary spending I was doing, while not trying to rank super high or anything, and I was able to kind of sneak in there and get a couple shards that way as well, so all good, all good. So because we have Alliance Mobilization going on, let me kind of do a quick review of what's going on first. Let me check what's available, and then I'll make my decisions, because I always forget to do Alliance Mobilization, you know, the spending stuff with Alliance Mobilization, and I really don't want to forget to do that again. You guys call me out on it every time I do it, which I appreciate because I need to learn to do better. It's just that sometimes when I'm recording, I have so much on my mind, I forget about basic gameplay stuff, you know. And something somebody pointed out in one of my comments from yesterday was actually a very good point. When we have a Hall of Heroes going on at the same time of an Alliance Mobilization, what I really should have done is, instead of doing all these purchases yesterday, because there's a daily purchase and event purchases, I should have only done the daily purchase, and then I could have used those purchases for Alliance Mobilization as well. So, lesson learned, good point, thank you for the tip. I'll try not to make that mistake again, but I can always count you guys on calling me out on it, because we're here to learn, and this is what I love about what I'm doing here. You know, there's a community of people watching me, helping me, and calling me out on those mistakes, so hopefully I won't make them again. So let's take a look at what's going on in the standard shop, and I'm going to resist the temptation to buy anything first because I just want to see what's going on first. So we got the mix and match, which is, you know, basically speed ups and fire crystals. Take a look at this, but this is essentially, if we do the math on it, it's like something on the order of 7 fire crystals per dollar. If you look at the way this works out, I guess maybe it'd be more obvious here, because we'd have 72. Basically, this would be 72 if I loaded it up like this. This would be 72 for $10, and you can do that mental math real quick, right? 7.2 per dollar. So again, not the worst value in the game, not the best. They're calling it best deals here, but it's really not the best deal in the game. But it's not bad. It's not bad. You know, something on the order of 8 to 10 is some of the better deals you get in some of these shops for fire crystals, but it's not bad. And I've been buying a bunch of that lately. We got the custom pet chests, and you know, these I'll probably need. We got the enhancement gear for exclusive gear enhancement special for the widgets, and this is a problem. Widgets are always a problem, so I'm going to have to spend a little bit on that, but we got all week for this. We've got the daily deals, of course, and then, okay, so that's the rest of the standard stuff. Look at the deals section. We still got the Hall of Heroes. We got the Tundra Trading Station. We got weekly benefits card, Hero Rally. All this is reset now. And we've got travel rewards now, a new one. And that value looks pretty good as well. Like if you look at the value of here, we got 50, let's see, 60, 70, 80, 90. So that's just the fire crystals alone is 90 for $10. So that just the fire crystals alone, not to include the other stuff here. Fire crystals alone, this is $9 per dollar. So that's, you know, an example of a better deal. But you can only get 90, right? So this is the problem. It's like if you really need a lot in bulk, you need some of the other deals because these opportunities are better per dollar, but they only come around so often. So I'll always make sure I buy these because it is a good deal. But the bigger ones I kind of get when I really need them in bulk. So the other thing to take a look at is the events again. If we come back in here, and now I'm focused on something more specific, but the actual, you know, things that you're going to spend on. We got armament competition for 2 days, and I just want to clear the basic rewards here. So I don't have any fire crystals. I don't want to use shards. Basically, this is going to come down to speed ups or chief gear. So for me, it's going to be a little bit of chief gear, and I basically just want to do enough to clear the basic rewards on this one, and that's it. I'm not going to, you know, blow my backpack just for some island decorations and gems. You know, I mean, there's some decent speed ups there as well, but like I get them from other sources anyways at this point. I don't want to blow my backpack just for this. So that's, I'm not going to do anything super special for that, but I do want to try to help, you know, where I can try to put some points on the board to help this alliance with Alliance Mobilization. I can't do it alone. I don't know how many spenders they have and, you know, how aggressively people go at this, but this is, you know, this is one of those events where I could potentially try to help them. And there are some things I can do here with gems and spending. So let's see how things go. The first thing I would like to do is grab one of these top-up points. Now I'm going to grab this one just because I'm going to do a bunch of spending, but I am going to do a little more spending than I wanted to do again, and this is in the spirit of helping this alliance. So although I've been doing a lot of spending lately, that's kind of like a bigger budget than I really wanted to have ideally, this spending is all about trying to help these alliances. And in this case, you know, I'm also going to be doing some spending because I want to put some points on the board with some things, and I don't want to feel guilty about it. But really the reason I'm going to, because this 50,000 top-up points is quite a bit, but I'm going to do it. And I'm also going to do some more because I want to be able to, you know, use that spend wisely. So let's see. Let me grab this. This is only a little one, but now ideally I can grab, you know, the 50,000 top-up points is basically a $100 pack. So I could do that as well, but there's no way to split this evenly perfectly anyways with the spending I'm going to do tonight. So I'm just going to clear that one out now because that was a free one to grab. So I always grab these booster packs. You can grab these daily. I grab these booster packs because that's how you can get the mission refresher. And it's not actually a bad pack if you look at it. I mean, it comes with a bunch of stuff in there, you know, five fire crystals and 2 general shards, you know, some gems and VIP points. I mean, you know, it's not a bad deal ultimately. And then I'll be able to refresh these and get like a 200% of exactly what I want every day. So that's why I did that. I also grabbed my free mission attempt there. And now I'm going to work to clear this 50K out. So let's just do the basic spending first, and then I'll see, you know, where I need to fill the gap and do the rest from there. So first things first, I'm going to do some of the easy stuff. The daily deals. And I'm just going to do this. I didn't sit here and calculate this one tonight. I'm going to do this off the seat of my pants, and we'll see how it goes. I'll buy what I need to fill the gaps. All right, we're at 4K right now. And I know I want to come in here and grab the weekly benefits cards. And the weekly benefits cards, because I'm going to be doing chief gear, I'm going to basically, and there's a lot I need for chief gear. I'm going to do this for Chief Gear. Not only is it the better value, but I feel like I've been pushing the hero gear well. I've been pushing the charms well. So this is kind of where I need a little fill in the gap right now. All right, and then Hero Rally I'm going to unlock as well for the general shards. All right. Travel rewards I'm going to grab because this is a good deal overall. All right. So we're about 30,000 away. Sign in and earn it. Already purchased. Deadshot. Grab this claim. And let's see. Hall of Heroes. I'm going to grab the daily. Now there is something worth talking about here. One of the things I was talking about, it gets progressively more difficult to find, you know, especially the Gen 1 and Gen 2 hero widgets. And there is one place else you can get them that is actually pretty good, and that's the Tundra Trading Station. But this is always like, you know, what are you going to use it for? Like, there's a lot of other stuff in here that is highly valuable as well. So it's like, you can either spend on the Hall of Heroes, and then instead of getting the Logan shards, you know, I can get the Gen shards, and I guess these get cheaper over time as more generations come out. But then again, they're less relevant over time. What I would really like to do, I do have enough to do, there's two things I really want to do. I want to do Zinman because he's good for defense in certain scenarios, and I want to do Philly. And so let's take a look at where Philly is.
Nothing is beyond the right medicine.
So Philly's at +6. And to get more here, I would need to go, let's see, 35 plus 40 plus 45 plus 50. So I need 170 more for Philly. That's not to say that's all I need, but that's what I need is 170 more just for Philly. So that means I need about, well, not about, I need exactly 90. Because I have 80 already. Now that doesn't include if I want to get some for Flint and stuff like this as well. But I think that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on Hall of Heroes now. I will continue to get some Logan shards because that's strictly speaking the more efficient thing. That's really what this is here for. So so I will get these for now because I've already done a bunch for the Gen 1. I'll grab these for Logan. And then I'm going to come here, and I need to get my trade vouchers for all this stuff. So, let's see. I'll redeem all of the unused shards. And then see how many tickets I have. All right, so that's all the unused shards at least. I've been trading these in the exploration manuals, but you know, I figured like I might as well just max them out just so I can, I mean, you don't get that many tokens from them or tickets, the vouchers for them. So it's like, I might as well just max them out, all the heroes just for the hero points. And then, you know, I'll start trading them in later. Doesn't really do much for you, but, you know, might as well just kind of max them out. All right, so here's where my points are looking. And look, I'm only going to be able to get so many of these anyways from here. So I'm only going to be able to get 10 from here. So, I don't know. The way I feel about it right now is these are hard to get. I might as well just start getting those from here because they're hard to get otherwise anyways. I can grab 3 mithril, although it's way overpriced, but can't have enough of that. And the stones I'm doing pretty good on. The general hero shards, I mean, I might as well get 10 of these too, because I'm going to need a lot of those. And then we get into some stuff that, like, you know, I can get this from other ways. So I'm not too worried about some of these other ones. But, you know, design plans, charm designs can be hard to get. So might as well empty these out as well first. Now we get into some pet stuff that's harder to come by. And make sure I grab those. And now we're getting down to the wire, but, you know, basically going to get this in the order of, you know, most importance to the account. And I think that's kind of the most important stuff right now. So then I'll just grab what I can here. And I think that's good. That's good to go. That's the Tundra Trading Station. And then I'll just continue to buy the 5 at a time over here. At some point, I gotta, you know, transition to, you know, Logan shards versus the Wedget chests. But I think I do, you know, I'll need to continue to get some Gen 2 widgets. So I focused on Gen 1 this round, and I think next time I get Hall of Heroes, I'll focus on Gen 2, and I'll just do the remainder with Logan shards. So that'll be, when I do the big spending, it'll be for that. But now let's get back to, before I lose track of it, I've got, like, what is it? 26 more K to do for the Alliance Mobilization task. So we don't have anything more in the deals section. So now we're talking about basically this standard section here, and let's see what we got. So first of all, let me just check. Let me clear that. But let's see if the mithril reset, because I should grab that as well. It did. So I'll grab the mithril for $5. And did the transfer packs reset yet? No, not yet. I'll hold on to those. That's quite a while, 17 more days. But I've been just accumulating those while I can to make sure that I have something in case I ever need to transfer this account. So now we're talking about mix and match and pet chest and the gear enhancement special. So I need 23,500 to close out this Alliance Mobilization task. I looked at it a little bit. I think probably the best way for me to do this is to do 2 10,000s and a 2,500. That way I can free up the others, so I can do, you know, 25 and 25 to close out another 50,000, or I can do 100 to close out another 50,000. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a 10,000 here. You know what? Sometimes you do this based on what you need on the account, and what I need on the account right now, since the fire crystal value isn't all that crazy, what I actually am going to need on the account when it comes to state versus state is going to be the training speed ups. I'm going to need that more because I'm pretty stocked on a lot of the other stuff, but I'm not on trading speed ups. Now, I'm not actually sure if this is the best deal in the game. I've never really considered this for the speed ups. I'm just doing it because that's what I actually need a little bit of right now. But turns out to be almost 7. It's like 6.6 hours per dollar compared to like 2 something per dollar in the standard shop. And I don't have the training pack special up to compare it to that, but I feel like this is probably not a bad deal for training speed ups. Not that you want to always use this for this, but this is what I'm going to use it for tonight. All right, so that's that 10,000. And then I'll do this one and, whoops, wrong one. Pet chests. Do this one for 10,000 as well. And this is going to be the advancement materials, because you can't have too much of these. All right. So now I need 3,500 more, but that's not going to happen. So what I'm going to do is just grab a 5,000. I can do two 2,500s, but I'll grab the 5,000 here for the fire crystals. And then close that out. All right, now I'm going to do another one of these for 50,000 top-off points. And this time I got the 200% going. And I'll do this. And I'll do this for the pet chests at the $100 mark. There we go. And then close that out. And this one I don't need to refresh right now. I can do the 50,000 gems. And I can grab that. Oops, let me clear the backpack. Click the wrong one, but I can do that in several ways. I've got my VIP shop reset, so I can spend in here and get the gems for it. But, or I can go and do some more pet gems, which I think I'm going to do because I just used a bunch of pet gems for the previous stage, King of Icefield. I did some pet gems, and this is going to be my opportunity to replace them, basically. So, do this. And then clear that out. And now just so I can spread the spend out over a couple days, because these events go a couple days, like the mix and match is a couple days, the pet chest is a couple days. I do have the enhancement gear, but that's again 6 days. I'm just gonna just to spread the spend out a little bit. I'm not gonna do any more spending, but I'll just do the gems because I do have a bunch. So I'll grab another one of these. And I'm going to still do some more pet common wild marks. Just again to replace what I had used. There we go. And now grab this one again. And more pet common wild marks. All right. Clear that out. I'll continue to look for gem spending in here, but the other thing I can do, we do have some essence stones. Like, it would be tempting to use this one. The only problem is I want to use this at a point where I can trigger the $100 pop-up pack for the essence stones, and then I'll like do it back to back. And right now I'm kind of out of the refreshes, so I either got to wait to see if I get a top-up special that I can combine with that, so I can do them like back to back, like do the essence stones first and then let that pop-up happen, and then go get the alliance mobilization task again, and then that type of thing. And if I can't do that, then I won't do the essence stones. But there is something interesting I can do, even though this is just a small one. I'm going to use this one because I'm going to do chief gear for that other task. So that's only a 200. I think even the basic stuff I was going to do will give me this one. So let's see. We'll do a little gear enhancement here. And see where that put me on that event. All right, that got me almost all the way there. You can argue now that, I can use speed ups for the rest, but I'll do the other one. So let's see. Let's go to Alliance Mobilization, complete that one. It sure would be nice if I can grab another chief gear just so that I could do another small one for the points, since I did so much spending on chief gear recently. But I guess I'll wait for that, and that's what the plan will be. Just claim this. Ooh, that's nice. That's a nice haul. All right. So that did seem to help the alliance so far. We're doing decent overall. And I did put a bunch of points up, so that's nice. I'll continue to look for the gems, especially if I can get another top off. Maybe I'll combine it with the essence stones, and if not, then I'll just keep on doing the gems to put some points on the board, and that'll be mainly what I do for Alliance Mobilization. But I'll definitely do some more top off tomorrow. Again, the reason I'm doing this extra spending right now is really in the spirit of helping this alliance, and this is one way I'm trying to help them essentially. Now the other thing I have to do is Alliance Championship, but I can register a squad now, but it's not going to be the best squad. So I can just put one on to get the idea, but you know, I'm gonna have to come and update this. So we'll see. That's how many points are there right now. But basically I'm gonna use that as a reference point, because what I'll do is I'll put all the buffs for the city. I'll get the ministry appointment that I have reserved for, and it's like, I don't know, an hour from now. And then I'll do the pets, and then I'll get, that way I'll have the maximum power that I can give them, and we'll make sure that that gets registered. But right now I'm just gonna kind of put it on the board just in case I forget, at least it's done. And then I'll also try to help them with bear hunt, and that's that. So let's take a quick look at the backpack, make sure I didn't miss anything. We'll clear these out. Yeah, we do have some Chief Gear's materials, and I need a lot of the hardened alloy. So that's going to come in handy. And put the VIP points in the bank. All right. And take a look. I'll clear this one out. Let's take a look at the heroes. And take a look at the gear. Basically what I'm trying to do is get this gear to plus 19 right here. The gauntlets. And then I kind of got to wait until I get an opportunity to use more essence stones to get these gauntlets up and get those ready for plus 20 as well. But that's the plan right now. So I don't have an awful lot to put on these right now because I didn't do a lot of gear stuff tonight, but that's the plan, is to get this up as well. And that's the next phase. You know, we got this all ready to go. It's in a good state. I like the way this is looking here. Just trying to get that up to plus 20 also. And the plus 20 here is basically Lancer defense, but you know, it's just that I want plus 20 around the board. So, and then same thing with here, just trying to get this gear red basically. And the same with Geronimo here. So make sure that I get this gear to plus 20, and then I can reassess what's next after that, because I think things are going in the right direction here. With that done, let's take a little look at Labyrinth. Land of the Brave is hero gear. I think I have pressed hero gear a bunch since I've done Land of the Brave last time. So let's see how this ends up working out. Let's see. So the standard formation is something like 50, 10, 40, and then adjust from there as you see fit. And usually what I do is, this first squad, I make a little bit more infantry heavy, but I don't know, man. This would mean I'd have to take away from Lancers. I'm just going to run with this and see how far it goes. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I did a little, not as much work as I thought since the last time I did this Labyrinth. Yeah, it's not even touching that squad. Well, I'll do a little adjustment, but I don't know if it's going to help much. All right. I think that was more luck than the adjustment I made. Ouch. Yeah, I knew that was coming. Yep. I'll give it one more try. I don't think there's much point in adjusting it too much from here. Ah. Yep. Saw that coming a mile away. All right. Well, let's see. Here's where things are looking for. What things are looking like for Land of the Brave. You know, not too bad, but you know, still got some work to do on the hero gear to be able to make progress. All right, let's see if I got any luck on those Labyrinth chests, by the way. Well, I'm already maxed out on the Labyrinth island decoration, so those will just be some good essence stone points, essentially. They'll be recycled. Now, before I'm done, let's take a look at the VIP. Let's do these claims. and see what things are looking like with the VIP. I already got those. So there we go. We're at 200,000. Now, since I didn't have an awful lot of exciting content tonight, basically just basic spending, I am going to do the Prestige Spinner tonight because we do have some other events coming up throughout the week that I think will be a little bit more interesting for content. So I don't want to wait the whole week until I do the Prestige Shop. We do have at least 200,000 VIP points here. So this gives me at least a couple spins. And we'll see. This will give me like 10. So I'll do 10 spins at this. I'll skip the animation here. And let's see if we can get some more of those Frost Sphere puzzle pieces. None on that. None on that. This is where it gets hard now. The Meteor March is already in the bank. Oh, I got one. All right. Excellent. None on this one. None on that one. Again, none. And again, none. This is what I should get used to. Because I think if I recall the math, it was going to be something like, it was going to be like 200,000 every Frost Star or something like that. Oh, I don't want to do 10. Let's see. Go back down to 2. And we'll let the animation roll this time. Get a couple more spins. Left-hand side of the board. We don't need that. The dreaded 50. That's left-hand side of the board, but not the worst left-hand side of the board. All right. Can we be on the right-hand side of the board at least, please? No, apparently I can't be. Really, on the left-hand side of the board the whole night. The dreaded 50. One more spin, here we go. Left-hand side of the board again. All right, let's check out the Prestige Shop. We did get a bunch of stuff refreshed in here. I think and what are these? The Mythic Gear chests. Custom Mythic Gear chests. I think I'm going to go with charm designs and charm guides for tonight. And I'll leave it at that for now until next time we meet again. Submit my one puzzle piece. And there we go. We're 17% of the way there. Man, that's going to take forever. Especially if I don't end up getting too much luck. But I don't know. I feel like tonight wasn't so bad. I mean, at least I got one out of the 200,000. So good deal. I'll take it. So that's all I have for you tonight. But if you like following this journey and you want to continue seeing the spending and how that converts to account power and how I'm able to, evolve as a player and where this journey goes, you got to help me out by liking this video, subscribing to my channel, and then turning on notifications. That way, whenever I post anything, you'll know about it right away. Thank you very much for joining me, and until next time, I'll see you later.